You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hello out there. I'm your host, Danny Mussolini, if you didn't know already. Welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in and being so faithful. Oh my goodness. So, taking off the training wheels. Yeah, I just wanted to share something with you guys real quick. Remember when you first learned how to ride a bicycle? You probably used training wheels, more than likely. Training wheels made it very safe and more comfortable for you to learn. They kept you from falling. They helped you to gain a little confidence. Then it was time to take off the training wheels. A traumatic experience. I don't know about you guys. All of a sudden, you were exposed to the risk of falling. You had to keep your own balance. There was nothing to fall back on. And yet, with a little bit of determination, you learned how to do it. And then what you felt was freedom. Now you could ride up and down the driveway, down the sidewalk, through the fields, along the roads. You could lean into turns, ride with one hand, one leg, no hands, and feel the wind in your face. You could speed down the hills, fly off a curve. It was wonderful. Makes me want to go ride my bike now, right? Once you learn to ride without the training wheels, you never wanted or needed them again. So my real question to you guys, are you living a life with the training wheels still on? Are you nestled safely inside your comfort zone? You know, with your job, your mortgage, your HMO, and your daily routine keeping you nice and secure. Do you even know what you're missing? Is your fear keeping you from following your dreams? Like, what are you afraid of? Going after your biggest dream is no more difficult than safely living inside of your comfort zone. And it is infinitely more rewarding. Riding your bicycle without the training wheels soon became even easier than riding with them on, and a whole lot more fun. You never would have known that, though, if you would have never tried them without the training wheels, right? Are you too afraid to take the training wheels off? What's the worst that can happen to you? Well, of course, you know, fail, and fail again, but those are learning experiences, right? The worst that can happen will happen for sure if you don't take those training wheels off of your life. The worst that can happen is that you'll get to the end of your life, you'll look back, never knowing the excitement of a challenge or a thrill of an accomplishment. So my friends, my vigilantes, make the commitment today to grab those handlebars and head out on the road of life. Take it from me, Danny Mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music or Inside the Book. Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book your interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
Well, tonight's interview is the Lauren Waller interview, and I'm your host again, Deanie Mussolini, like you didn't know that already. All right, but before we dive in head first into this interview, we have to do this.
Wow! Do you have an idea that needs to get out there? PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people with ideas to get to the industry.
PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people with great ideas to get to the industry and to the public. Do you have ideas that need to get out there? Go to PitchYourIdeas.org and get your ideas out there.
PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people with great ideas to get to the industry and to the public. Do you have ideas that need to get out there? Go to PitchYourIdeas.org and get your ideas out there. PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people who don't know what to do with your talent or ideas. People who have ideas, inventions, movie scripts, TV scripts, and ideas that will entertain, inform, or make things better should go to PitchYourIdeas.org.
We are the people who have dedicated their weekdays and nights to music, movies, news, business ventures, conspiracies, and just talk in every aspect. From our incredible promotion here on our new Facebook page, be sure to stop by and like it, by the way, because I know you're scrolling on Facebook at this very moment right now. Don't worry about it, though. All right, or from our interview and music show here on the all-new Vigilantes Radio Inside the Music series, or the dive into relationships, music business theory, money, spiritual living on our show called Skeptics. We spend each and every day giving our maximum effort to create a vibrant, exciting indie community and professional for all creative minds that coexist in this beautiful artistic world. We'd like to thank Lauren Waller for taking some time to talk with us. We really appreciate hearing the backstories of authors, writers, singers, artists, entrepreneurs, just people in general when it comes to how they got to where they are in life now. And of course, Lauren will have the opportunity here to tell us her entire story because we love stories. I have my popcorn. I hope you do. And I hope that she lets us in on the real her, which is very cool in my opinion when people do that. So, with that, let's go ahead and invite her to the show. Lauren, you're now live in the mix with all of us. How's it going and how are you feeling?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Blessed by the best.
I forgot that I was muted, and I was so afraid to, say something on accident.
Oh, yeah. Well, you are in good hands, so no worries. All right,
Perfect.
So, yeah. So, how's the weather where you at in California? Right?
It's been pretty hot for December, and of course we've been dealing with the fires for the past, I guess, a week now. So the air quality hasn't been the best down here, but besides that, besides the fires, I guess things are okay in California.
Cool deal. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so anyhow, let's go ahead and dive deep for the moment.
Great.
What would you say that the life of Lauren Waller is all about right at this moment?
Right at this moment, I guess trying to be busy is where my life is at. I just graduated from college last spring, and
Awesome.
So this is kind of the first time in my life, I know, right? The first time in my life that I have not been completely focused on school or trying to juggle school and music, and I also did theater, and so kind of right now I'm trying to keep myself really, really busy, just working and focusing on music because this is the first time I've ever been able to experience that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's being in college, I was a theater major, and so it was just constant going to rehearsals and trying to go to school, and then also trying to, record my EP at the same time. It kind of just set everything, my life, a little off balance, but I got so used to being so busy all the time, so now I'm just trying to be as busy as possible with music.
Yeah, I got to keep that routine going, but this time, fill it with music, oriented, things to do, which is cool, which is cool. Okay, so we're honored to have you here on our podcast tonight. And again, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts.
No, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Man, you're incredible. I can't wait till we, start talking about your music because the stuff I've heard, oh man, it is amazing. It is amazing. So I know you're still somewhat new to our side of the internet. Who knows? Somebody may know you. I probably guarantee that. But, just for sake that they don't. I've read and know this is like an exciting time for you. There's a fantastic EP titled No Names Here, out now with 5 incredible tracks with mysterious titles. And I love mysterious titles that don't lead you into what the song is all about. Oh, I love it. But before we get into all of that, I'm over here just, a big fan of you right now.
Thank you so much.
No doubt. Let's get to the start of things on this road getting here. And it may not have been an easy one for you whatsoever, but, we'll let you tell us the details. I don't want to, tell anything. So how did it all start? What's the history, the highs, the lows?
Well, actually, I kind of started late, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. I'm 22 now, and I didn't really start singing in front of other people until I was 17. When I was younger, I tell the story all the time, and my brother probably is sick of hearing it, but when I was little, he told me that I couldn't sing, and so I had just convinced myself, I was 6. I convinced myself, oh, I can't sing in front of other people, it's embarrassing, I'm going to embarrass myself. And on top of that, I was just a horribly, horribly shy child. So that didn't help with anything. So I just never really opened up about how I loved to sing because I was always doing it in my room or when I was older, in my car. But I always did church choirs, school choirs, back row kind of person, not really trying to do anything to put myself in the spotlight. And then when I was 17, I was I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for a solo for a high school concert. And I ended up getting it. And then I was still really secretive about it. I wouldn't tell my parents what I was even singing. But I invited them. I told them it's coming up. You should come. And I didn't let anybody hear me practice. And so my parents, of course, were sitting in the audience, so scared that I was about to embarrass myself. And after that, after I did the solo, everyone kind of was like, oh, wow, maybe you actually can sing, because everybody thought that I couldn't all because of my brother. And so after that, I kind of got the confidence that I think I needed to be able to start sharing what passions that I did have about music. Because my whole life I had always been surrounded by music. I did piano lessons when I was younger, and my father plays the guitar, and he also sings and always has kept that up as a hobby for himself. And so I always knew that I wanted to be in the arts somehow. Like I said earlier, I studied theater in college, and so I knew that I wanted to be doing something in the entertainment world. Mm-hmm. And so, like 17, of course, is when you really start trying to focus and figure out where you want to go to college and what you want to study. And right. I finally sat my parents down, and I said, I think I want to do music. And or I think that I want to do theater. I just want to keep up, like, keeping myself in the arts. And so they kind of challenged me. They said, all right, if you want to do music, then you have to prove it to us. You have to prove that you're able to get up and sing and that you're able to do this in front of people, just because they knew how shy I was. Mm. And so my dad actually, as a hobby, has a band. He has a little dad band. And so the summer before my senior year of high school, I started playing shows with my dad's band in little in clubs around Los Angeles. And so it was all cover songs, but I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove my parents wrong, and I'm really going to, like, I'm not that shy. I'm going to show them this is what I want to do. But it's actually really funny, like, looking back at the videos of me singing back then, because you could still tell how extremely shy I was, but I was still doing it.
Right.
And so that kind of let them go, okay, maybe you can do this, and we're really going to support you then. And that has, ever since then, has been just a big game changer, because I always was afraid that I wasn't going to get the support or encouragement that I felt that I needed to be able to do this. And my family and my friends have been really, really great since I decided to start pursuing music. And so when I was 18, I started writing for the first time. I had never really written. I had written, like, little poetry stuff. I guess I didn't even realize that I was writing lyrics, but I had been doing that, but never showing people, because I, of course, thought they were bad. So I started writing this EP that was just going to be a gift to my mom. I didn't really think I was going to do anything with it, but I wanted to give her something and really just show her, like, look at what I'm working on. Isn't this cool that I'm doing this for the first time? And then they heard it, and everyone was saying, like, this may actually be something. You're actually really good at this, and I really think that you should keep trying to do this. And so that's kind of where it all started for me.
Right. Okay. Man, that is incredible journey. And I like how your family, actually supported you. They challenged you, and you rose to the challenge. Yeah, they challenged. Which is cool.
Yeah, and I know that I've been so lucky in that part. I just know that I've been so lucky in that part too, having a family that supports me.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you this. So, it's your first time striking out as an artist, not like in striking out in baseball, but like, jumping out there. Yeah. So you are the sole writer for this entire EP, right?
Oh, no. I do write with partners.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do a lot of lyrics on my own, but I have been working with, had two different writing partners. I had a different separate one for the first EP, and then I've had two really great writing partners for the second one as well.
Awesome. Now, working with partners and writers, does it make it tough or easy for you?
I guess both sometimes. It can be hard and can be easy, because people obviously come in with different ideas, and you don't really know what somebody else is going to bring to the table, But I got really, really lucky in the fact that, like, on the second EP that I wrote, Known It and Here, like we all sat down and we said, okay, what do we want to do here? Like, where do we want to go? So before we even started writing anything, we've had like a little meeting talking about what kind of style we want to be doing and what we want to be saying. And so that made it a lot easier to just be able to get everything out there.
Yeah, I agree. When people have meetings about, a particular project, it always seems to turn out better because there's a directive, there's a definite focus on, what needs to be said and done in these projects. So I think that's incredible. All right, so once No Name Here was finally done, mixed and mastered, were you able to look at yourself and know beyond a doubt that you nailed all of these recordings?
I mean, I wouldn't have released it if I hadn't have loved it. But like it's like looking back at it, because it hasn't been a year yet since I released it, but it's been a couple of months, and just in those few months, my voice has just changed and developed so much. Just because I am young and I know that my voice is changing, and so looking back at it, it's listening to it. It's funny to hear because I know my voice is different. But back then, when I was recording it, I knew that I was doing what I wanted to do. I was listening back, and I was loving what I was hearing, and so I felt so good about it then. But like, it felt right in the moment. But looking back a few months later, it's just so weird to me how much my voice can change.
So, how much of you want to go back and re-record that EP?
Honestly, I don't think I would go back and re-record it because it's such a little capsule of my life, because like the EP is about me, and it tells a really specific part of my life and tells stories from that part of my life. And so I don't really think that I would want to go back and change it because my voice is a little bit different, but that's what it was when I was that person, when I was writing it.
Okay. And how long did it take to put this entire EP together? Concept and all the legal stuff. How long did that take?
I want to say about a year, just starting from like the very first meeting where we talked about like what direction I wanted to be going in. And then I think I took a whole summer to just write everything. And then a few months to record, and then just getting the final bits with mastering and all the paperwork done, and getting the even just naming it. It took me so long to name the EP, so I had to add like a month into that.
Wow. So how did you come up with No Names Here?
Well, it was taking me so long to name it that I kept joking that it just wasn't going to have a name, which is where the no name part came from. And then the more I thought about that, I was like, oh, well, I actually kind of like that idea. But then I was like, well, I can't just call it No Name. That's just kind of stupid. So I kept trying to think about it, and I was asking people, I was like, what do you think I should name it? If you hear these songs, like, what do you think? What are you connecting to? And I was asking all my friends, and they wanted to know who the songs were about. And I was like, no. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about who the songs are about, because that's not important. Because for me, I want to write about myself, and I want to write honestly, truthfully about things that have happened to me. But when you listen to the song, I want you to connect to it. I want you to feel something in it. So I was like, the names aren't important. Like, those people are not important. It's what you feel. And so that's kind of where No Names Here came from, is that it was just like, it was on it. Like, I wanted people to be able to put their own perceptions into the song and put themselves into the song instead of thinking about who I wrote the song about.
Wow, that's dope.
Thanks.
That is genius. Wow.
It took me a long time to come up with it. So.
Well, genius doesn't happen overnight. So. All right. So, do you play any other additional roles for your music career besides singer-songwriter, performer?
On my first EP, I do have a producer's credit, but I didn't do that for the second one. For the second one, it was more of like, I would go in, I would write, I would record, and then they would send it to me, and I would just be like, oh, well, I like this, and I like that. But it was a very different, like, I kind of was stepping away from it so that when I would get the song back, it would just be really, really fresh in my mind. Like, I wouldn't get hung up on it. and I wouldn't think too much about it, which I really liked. I liked that I wasn't obsessing over everything. Because you know how, like, when you send the song off to be mastered, you send it to somebody different so that you have a fresh ears listening to it. That's kind of how I felt while I was working on this past EP.
Cool. Okay. So you've been in California all your life, or no?
Mm-hmm. Whole life.
Mm-hmm. So what is it about California that continues to be a good home for the music?
Well, Los Angeles is kind of where music is. I mean, obviously, it's not the only place in the world, but California has just played such a big role in my life because I've been here the whole time. It's where all my roots are. I grew up here. I went to school here. I found myself as a person here, and so I got so much of my inspiration for writing. I have to accredit to living here because it's all I've ever known. Yeah. And to be fair, it's not a bad place to live either. Like around Los Angeles, it's so eclectic, but at the same time, for me, it's so normal. And so it's just really been interesting, like getting to write about that. And the people I meet are so interesting because of that. And especially because I went to college here too. I met so many people who were coming into California, and they had so many perceptions about like who a California girl was supposed to be. And so that also like helped me in developing and finding inspiration and just different things to write about, is different people's perceptions on like who I was supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay. Down the line, if it ever, came to the point where you wanted to move away, do you have a particular location in your mind?
It's so annoying, but I would move to New York. I'm one of those people, the California to New York.
Yeah.
My mom is from there, and so I've always, we go back east to visit family, and I've always just loved it. She went to school in Manhattan, and so I've just always, had this dream of moving to New York City, like most people my age do. But I would love to live in, I guess, a real city. I don't really count LA as, it's a completely different vibe. And so if I ever were to move, it would be there just to experience it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a difference in city atmosphere between New York and Los Angeles. Even though they're both virtually big, city life is definitely prominent in New York.
It just feels different when you're there. And it's not even just the people. It's just the environment. It's just so different. Yeah.
I mean, you can go to downtown Los Angeles, and you're surrounded by gigantic buildings, but it still feels like it's more of a outside experience, the buildings are just for decoration.
No, I definitely get what you're saying.
All the life is on the outside of the buildings, but yeah. All right, so perhaps there's a moment or a couple of standout moments that really resonate within you and continue to inspire you to today. Tell us about some of the highlight accomplishments that you've had along the way. Tell us a story or two. Like I said, I have my popcorn, and I'm just ready to listen to you talk.
Okay. Well, some of the most inspiring moments that I feel as an artist have been watching artists that I look up to, usually in concerts. And I don't know if you do this or if any other people do this, but I have a set list of the most memorable moments that I'll never forget in concerts just because they were so special, top 5 moments. And so it's not even that they were life-changing or anything. It just made me feel so certain that this is what I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life that I was like, oh, I should probably write this down and never forget them. And one of them was, I don't know if you know the artist Ron Pope, but I went to go see him in concert a few years ago at the Roxy in Los Angeles, and he's just incredible to me. His album Daylight means the world to me. And when I ended up at his show, I went early, waited in a line, and I ended up front row, dead center.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I was so excited. and he sat down, and I was waiting the whole concert for him to play my favorite song, which is called Fireflies. And it was just so special because it's a really quiet song. And so he just sat down at the piano and started playing it, and I was just in the moment, and I forgot about everything that was around me while he was playing, and all I could hear was just this crowd of strangers that I was standing in, like whispering the song along with him. And it just made me feel like so completely a part of something that's so bigger than myself, which is so cliched, but it made me forget about everything and like every like issue that I was having and every problem I was having. I was like, I just want to live in this moment forever. And so I was like, oh gosh, I need to make other people feel this way.
Yeah.
And like I've had that a few times at different concerts. Like I went to go see Ed Sheeran in concert, and this was like the first time, because I think I was like 16 and my parents didn't let me go out that much, and this was like the first concert that I went to, like just with my friends. And he was playing the song This, and he like asked everybody not to look at him and to like just look at the people that you're with and like put your arms around your like strangers standing next to you. And I was like, this is the greatest. This is just such a community, and this is like the feeling that I was getting when he was singing it, and like I was with my best friends, and I was like hugging a stranger, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just what I need to do. And so I've had a few like moments like that where I was like, this is just what I need to do. I want to make other people feel this way. How do I make other people feel this way? And so one of the biggest highlights that I've had is something so small when I like talk about it and tell people it, but it means so much to me, is I have a friend who, she's so sweet, so lovely, and she is absolutely obsessed with one of my songs called Blame off of my first EP, Perhaps. And it took, I think it took her a bit to tell me, to admit this to me, but she's like actually obsessed with it. And she explained to me one time how much it meant to her, and how she listens to it when she's sad, or how she shared it with her sister when her sister was going through something hard. And that we were doing a play at the time, and she would listen to the song to get herself into the character that she was playing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, I'm actually like, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. I'm impacting somebody in such a special way. And like, that's something that I've always wanted to do. And that's kind of why I want to create music and why I want to be an artist. And I was like, wow, I actually did it. And it doesn't even matter to me if I don't affect any other person ever again. But I was like, I was able to do it with just one person.
Man.
So that's kind of my highlight.
That is like the awesome highlight, you know, the most awesome highlight to have is, you know, a person who is just all into your music that gets it. You don't have to explain it, you know, and they can make their own meaning for your song. Mm-hmm. That is just
like
awesome
I said
thing.
Earlier, that's all I wanted.
Yeah. So, which is why I told you early in the show that I can't wait to talk about your music, because there's a particular song that I was going to play, like, you know, the most played song from your EP, which is Secret Garden. Mm-hmm. And then I started listening to the entire EP, and I was like, oh, hold up. And I found one particular song that I had on repeat. I played it probably 10 times that day on SoundCloud.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it was Down.
Oh.
I was like, yo, this song has magic in it. Like, that's my trademark, saying yo, and I kind of yo, you know, but that song has so much magic in it to me. Like, I don't know, it just captivated me, and I just played the entire EP after I listened to that one song 20 times. So, like, you know what? This song could be a soundtrack. I don't know about to my life in particular, but to a lot of people I encounter. Mm-hmm. So I begin to share the song with them. Like, hey, you have to check this. You have to check this artist out. She's going to be on my show Monday night. You have to check her out beforehand, and then come sit in on the interview and listen to her talk. I said, I bet she's going to be incredible. And you are. My predictions are always right. You are incredible. The music is fabulous. You. Yes. So, advice from me to you: put it in a movie or a TV show, your music belongs there. And Down's not the only track that has like a soundtrack feeling to it. Like, there's quite a few.
My dad actually said that the other day, so my dad agrees with you.
Yeah, or your dad's on point. All right, so lyrically and thematically, what's the tone and mood of the songs on the No Names Here EP?
Well, there's a running joke that I can't write a happy song, so so that may be a part of the theme, like sad girl. But I don't, like, even the happier songs, like Secret Garden, like, it's not really a sad song, but it still has a bit of a darker edge to it, and that kind of is like the running theme around that. And it's not that I'm even trying to be like, oh, I have to write something so sad and so dark and moody, but it's just, like, I talk a lot about wanting to be honest and wanting to be honest with myself as a writer. And, like, I don't keep a diary, I keep lyrics. And so I want to write about, like, my own life and be honest about that. And sometimes that just ends up being on more of a darker side and a darker edge. So that's kind of where I'm getting a little tone and mood from, is that sometimes it's just easier for me to get out all the dark stuff by writing it.
It is. I have to agree with that one. Once upon a time, I was an artist too, and I would be in like happy relationships, but every song that came out was all, you know, dark and moody, and about, you know, a broken heart from, you know, relationships ago. And it's like, why do you keep writing stuff like that? So like, well, that's all I know.
You're like, I gotta get it out somehow.
Yeah, I gotta get it out. Like, didn't you get it out 10 albums ago? No, that chapter is not done. No. But it just seems easier to write, you know, the things you don't normally say out loud. So it kind of fits in a song.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel about your music?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I don't know, like, it's so easy to just be, not fake, but just to be kind of, like, have your walls up when you're talking to people. And, like, you're not going to sit them down and be like, this is everything that I'm going through in my life right now. This is why it sucks. This is, like, the heartbreak that I'm having. And just, you're not going to do that to people. And so, like, you're totally right. Like, you want to write about what you actually want to say, and, like, what you actually want to, like, be. Like, sometimes it just sucks. And, like, in a lot of my songs, too, I don't want to make it a happy ending, because some people are like, well, why don't you resolve it at the end? Like, why don't you, like, fix the problems? And I was like, because sometimes the problems aren't fixed yet, and there doesn't always have to be a happy ending. Right.
You're right. And life is like that a lot. There's not a lot of happy endings. Let me ask you this. The No Names Here, is it tied to the first EP? Is it like a continuation, part 2 maybe?
No.
Totally separate.
Well, I guess it's unfair to say no, because all the songs are about me, but there isn't like a running story in, like, there's not a running story in either of them. I would say Perhaps is a bit more about, like, personally, like, a bit more like about, I don't know. Perhaps was about a younger me, and then, like, high school Lauren, and then I guess No Names Here was a bit more about college Lauren, but there's no story running in between it. There are stories within the songs, but not throughout the EPs.
Okay. So, all right. So you sat down in a meeting with your writers, and I can imagine engineers, maybe producers. Did a conversation happen about the instrumentation of the EP? Like, what kind of genres or style of instruments were going to be used for this EP?
Yeah. Well, everything really stemmed off of my single from my first EP was Never Were. And Never Were was kind of the base point of where I wanted to grow and develop from. If you listen to my first EP, Perhaps, there isn't really a flow between the songs. Like, not everything is really in the same genre. It kind of was more of an experiment. Like I said earlier, it was just supposed to be a present for my mom. Like, I was just writing, and I was trying to kind of just figure out what I wanted to do as an artist, because it was the first time I had ever done something like that. And then Never Were just felt so right to me, and I really connected with it, and it was my favorite song, and it was just more like what I wanted to do. And so we took Never Were off of that first EP and re-released it as a single, and we kind of just changed the sound to, like, we changed the sound a little bit to make it more, I guess, a little bit cooler, just put more of an edge on it. And that's where I wanted to go from there. I really wanted to do something moodier and a bit darker and more indie pop. And so that's what we sat down and we talked about. And I was like, that's where I want to go from. That's what I think is the right sound for me. But then actually when we were in the studio for the first day, I guess that we all thought that it was going to be like more of a singer-songwriter-y sound, like I guess a bit softer. Because we were like, oh, let's like get like the acoustic stuff going. And then we started working on the first song, which was What If, and we were like, that doesn't work for the song. And we started like working on it and just trying different things, and we were like, this is the direction that we should like go, obviously, like put more of the edge on it that I really wanted, and just try to make everything kind of just sound cool and sound, I guess, a little bit harder than what we originally expected to write.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. All right, guys, we are at that point of the show. After the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the hot seat, and our fans love this part of the segment, of course, along with the actual interview. But the audience gets to hear either Lauren sing, maybe she write poetry, who knows, or maybe she has an inspirational speech, spoken word. Maybe she can freestyle rap, jokes, stories, maybe whip out some live instruments from our special guests. Well, you never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight. And tonight we'll find out if Lauren Waller has what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of her true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for right now, we have my favorite song for right now, Lauren Waller, Down. Oh yeah, I added it to my this is the soundtrack of my life playlist, which is a personal playlist of mine. So here it is, Down. And we'll be right back.
Lost and found, fool's gold. The monster is getting loud. Trapped inside, it's freezing cold. The monster is getting out. If you could see just what I see when I'm going down, 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 going down, 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 down. You'll just leave me when I'm down.
Hey, and we are back. Again, that was Lauren Waller with her song Down. If she shoot a music video to that, I will absolutely lose it. Yeah, being such a fanboy right now, but it's cool because that song was so dope. Like, I want to play it again. And I can because this is my show, so, yeah, you know. So, look, okay. I don't know if you guys watched The Blacklist, but I can hear that song playing as Raymond Reddington is being Raymond Reddington, right? Yeah, you have to watch The Blacklist. That song will go perfect with that show, I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. All right. Are you living the life that you choose? Ask yourself. Are you living the life you choose? And the answer is, of course, yes. Because what you are, what do you have, and what you do are all the results of choices you have made. You are where you are right now because of what you have chosen. If you don't like where you are, you can waste a lot of time, a lot of effort, and energy blaming someone or something for your situation. We all have obstacles, though, and success in life is based primarily on whether we choose to see those obstacles as excuses or as a challenge. It all makes a difference in the world. Your life is determined by your choices. You can choose to sit around all night watching TV, watching Blacklist, listening to Down, which is fantastic in my opinion. Or you can choose to spend an evening enriching your mind, perhaps learning a new skill, and still listening to Down. I think I choose that one. You can choose to dull your senses with drugs and alcohol, or you can choose to keep your body in top shape with challenging exercises. You can choose to stand quietly in a corner at the party. That is so much Dini Mussolini, the wallflower, professional wallflower. Or you could use it as an opportunity to meet interesting people. I'm an introvert. I don't know about all that. No, you people are cool. I like people, strangers. Some strangers are nice, yeah. Surprisingly, though, the important choices aren't the big ones. It is, an effect of the little choices that makes the biggest difference. We may agonize for weeks and months over what school to attend, what career to pursue, or what job offer to accept. These are what we consider big, important choices. In reality, though, our life is determined by the little choices that we make every day. Should I make that extra phone call? Should I volunteer for that project? Should I introduce myself to the new department manager? Should I have another piece of cheesecake? Oh yeah. Should I roll over and sleep for another 20 minutes? Should I watch that rerun of Seinfeld for the 4th time already? Choices are just that. They're not chances. Chances determine our destiny. So, what do you choose? Interesting question, right? So with that, let's go ahead and bring Lauren back on. Hey, Lauren, you're in our hot seat. What do you have for us?
Okay, so I wanted to, I don't know, it may be weird, but I wanted to share, it's not really poetry, but while I'm writing a song or while I'm it's either right before or while I'm recording it or while I'm developing a song, I kind of like to write, I guess, little blurbs to kind of center myself in the song and help me create the story around it. But I don't want to call it poetry because I really don't think it's good enough to be poetry. So I wanted to share a few of them with you and tell a little bit about a story about the song behind it.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so this is also super weird for me because I've never even told people that I do this for my songs, so this is weird. But this first one that I have is off of my first EP, perhaps, and it's called Breathe. And the song kind of is about never really fitting in and trying to break the mold, pretty much. Like, one of the lines in the song is break the mold, the original, and trying to, like, become yourself. And so, but you're struggling with that because you don't really know how the rest of the world is going to take it. And so this is it. And we're marching step by step, and we're marching to our death. but now she's dancing on air because she doesn't care. Follow the crowd, never fit in, stand out too much, and that's a sin. Be in the moment, be self-aware, take a picture because you'll forget they were ever there. I followed the crowd, are you proud? I followed the crowd, are you proud? I'm miserable, it's beautiful, but I'm miserable, but it's beautiful. And so this next one that I have is actually about your favorite song, Down. Down is actually my favorite song that I think I've ever written.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I love that you love it.
Yeah.
It's about me, and it's about just depression and anxiety, and like it talks about like the voices in your head, like the voices in my head that I hear that cause that anxiety and cause that depression. And it's something that I've struggled with my whole life, and I know a lot of people have struggled with it too. And so this is the little story that I wrote behind Down. They say I'm in a different state of mind, but what if I'm not ready to leave it all behind? I hear the pain, it's crying, is it mine? I felt broken inside where nothing's been sane and nothing's been right. Each day, just a game, it's all the same, and you hunt and search, all for someone to blame. Blame the voices, blame your choices. Each day is just a game, it's all the same, and you hunt and you search, all for someone to blame. This next one that I have is also from No Names Here. It's called Maybe. Maybe is about failed relationships and relationships that just never were going to work out, but a relationship that I desperately, desperately wanted. And a strange emptiness. A strange emptiness is what comes to follow, a sad familiarity. Not mistaken for something I felt time and time before. But one day you'll look at me with stars in your eyes like there's the sun in mine. I won't want that. I wouldn't want you to feel that. It's the way I look at you now, and nothing hurts more, like last time and the time and time before. The next one I have is about What If, which I said before was one of the first songs that I wrote off of No Names Here. It's super short, it's like 3 lines. It was as if everything was coming down at once, like oceans upon oceans of heaving doubt, and you crashed against me and I screamed. But then I wasn't drowning and we were dying, but I felt alive. But that's what I've got.
All right, that's some awesome stuff.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't really know
All
if
right.
other people, like
So
writers,
you-
do it, but
Yeah. I think I've met someone who also does something similar to that as well. It's always interesting.
well, good, I'm not alone.
Yeah, I mean, theirs is not quite like yours, but it's along the same lines, and I think it's a pretty cool gesture to do for music or for the writer side of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly for me. Like I said, I don't really share them with people, but I think it helps me develop a song.
But you shared it with us, and I feel so special now. Thank you. And thank you for that awesome song, Down. Yeah.
Thank you for loving it.
Oh, yeah. All right, so lastly, I simply like to say thank you once more for your time and your answers. I truly do appreciate that. So take this last moment to say anything else at all that you could possibly wanted to talk about through the interview that I might have forgot. Feel free to fill in the blanks and say anything else at all. This is the Vigilantes Radio Open Floor.
Well, I did really want to shout out, I didn't even say their names. I really wanted to shout out Monty Malone and Ryan Benyo, who are my other writers on No Names Here. They are just 2 really, really cool people to work with, and I feel so rude for not saying their names when I mentioned them before. But besides that, I guess I just want to thank you again for having me on. I think you did a really good job of covering pretty much my entire musical career so far. So I don't have much to fill in the blanks for.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again, and the best to you and your endeavors. Shoot that video, and,
I'll get on it.
All right. I hope to see you or listen to your music soon. And with that, have a wonderful evening.
Well, great. Thank you.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Danny Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.